status quo, or Kevin's sticking with the status quo and continuing to go with Dillon instead of turning it over to Shedeur?
Quarterback direction has nothing to do with me. I'm worried about the defense and us giving up the points that we did and the first downs we did. Who we stick with the quarterback is up to Kevin.
Myles Garrett, the face of the Cleveland Browns franchise, the leader of the defense, the guy who supposedly bleeds orange and brown, was asked about Shedeur Sanders after one of the most embarrassing losses in recent memory, and his reply was, "I don't care who plays as the quarterback, it has nothing to do with me." Seriously, Myles? Now, let's rewind this entire situation, because what we're witnessing right now is one of the most two-faced moments in Cleveland Browns history. And trust me, that's saying something for a franchise that specializes in disappointment. Before the season started, Myles Garrett himself told Shedeur Sanders, "We're gonna need you sometime this season." Those weren't just words thrown out casually. That was the defensive leader of the team, the highest paid defensive player in NFL history, telling the rookie that his time would come.
Everyone was surprised to see him go to the 5th round, but he's come to camp and OTAs with a great attitude. He's a hardworking guy. He has a good head on his shoulders, and he's always positive, always optimistic, always keeps a smile on his face. And
Fast forward to now. The Browns just lost to the New York Jets. Not a good Jets team, not even a mediocre Jets team. The worst Jets team we've ever seen. A team whose quarterback completed 6 passes. A team that looked absolutely lost in the first half. And when Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot asked the franchise player about whether they should turn to Shedeur Sanders, Myles Garrett throws up his hands and says it's not his problem? That's it? That's all you got, Myles? After you told Shedeur you need him? After you personally reached out before the season, now you're hiding behind "it's up to the coach"? This is leadership? This is what the face of the franchise looks like when things get tough? Let's talk about what actually happened in that press conference, because this wasn't just a deflection. This was a complete abandonment of what Myles Garrett said he stood for. The energy in that room was dead. You could hear it in his voice. The guy who's supposed to be the heartbeat of this team, the vocal leader, the one who holds people accountable, just completely dodged the most important question facing this organization. And here's why this matters so much. Dillon Gabriel just got absolutely demolished. 6 sacks. 6! 4 of them came from one player, Will McDonald. The offensive line got cooked. The passing game was non-existent for large stretches.
About just the fact that you guys gave up 6 sacks, 4 by Will McDonald. What kind of was the situation there?
Again, probably premature to say anything until I look at it, Mary Kay, but it's very typically a combination of things, whether it's offensive line, protection plan, getting open, all those things.
I have no idea what happened, but I'm not taking responsibility for any of it. This is the same coach who came out after the game and said that
as a team, we're going to lose as a team, so we'll all own that, including myself. But it's extremely disappointing, some of the moments in that game in terms of how that game unfolded, obviously.
Own it? Own it. Kevin, you just lost to a quarterback who threw for 12 yards on 5 completions. You gave up 2 return touchdowns in the first quarter. Your offensive line allowed 6 sacks. Your 4th and 1 call in the 4th quarter was a disaster. But here's where it gets even more twisted. Browns insider Tony Grossi, who's been covering this team forever, completely flipped his script on Shedeur Sanders. This is the problem with Cleveland sports media. They're so embedded with the organization, so desperate to maintain their access, that they can't keep it real anymore. They can't call out the obvious dysfunction because they're afraid of losing their press credentials. But the fans see through it. The fans aren't stupid. They watch these games. They see Dillon Gabriel holding the ball too long. They see the offensive line getting demolished. They see a defense that held Justin Fields to practically nothing for 3 quarters and still lost.
About the job that your defense did on Justin Fields for most of the football game. I think he had 11 yards until the...
I thought really good moments. Obviously, we hadn't given up much on defense, but the game's script had changed with them getting those early points, and I thought the guys battled throughout, but I know there's plenty that we can probably do better.
The defense gave up 11 yards passing until that Breece Hall screen. 11 yards, and they still lost. How is that even possible? But let's get back to Myles Garrett. Because his silence isn't just disappointing, it's a betrayal. This is a guy who's been with the Browns through everything, through 016, through the Hugh Jackson years, through the Baker Mayfield drama, through Deshaun Watson's suspension and struggles, through every single embarrassing moment this franchise has endured. Let's be crystal clear about something. This isn't Dillon Gabriel's fault. He's a rookie. He was thrust into a starting role before he was ready because the Browns traded away Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. He's doing his best, but his best isn't good enough right now, and everyone can see it except the people making the decisions.
I mean, do you stick with Dillon Gabriel after this game, or do you think about making a change?
Yeah, we're going to stick with Dillon. Obviously, this is a young players that you're always trying to get one game better and those type of things, but we have to play better as an offense. We have to coach better, all the above.
One game better? Kevin, the season is over. You're 2-7. You just lost to a team that traded away its two best defenders. What are you saving Dillon Gabriel for? What's the plan here? Even Dillon Gabriel knows the situation is bad.
Things aren't going well. There's always going to be change. That's part of it, because keep doing the same thing and don't change anything, then it's insanity. But just I feel like at times there's things that went well and we sustained and executed, and then in certain moments we didn't execute, and that starts with me. But yeah, it's always frustrating when it's not going the way you want it to, and you put in the work and time, but in crucial moments you got to have it and execute, and we didn't.
At least Dillon Gabriel is taking accountability. At least he's owning his mistakes, which is more than we can say for Myles Garrett or Kevin Stefanski. But here's what's really frustrating for Browns fans. It's not just that they're losing. It's that they're losing with no plan, no direction, no accountability, no honesty.
This is a learning moment for him, and no chance to do better for the next time, and kind of like Andre in the first game.
Learning moment? Learning moment? You're 2-7. How many learning moments do you need before you actually learn something? This entire organization is stuck in this cycle of moral victories and learning moments, and we'll do better next time, but next time never comes. The improvements never materialize. The accountability never happens. And now we have Browns insiders completely contradicting themselves. We have franchise players going silent when it matters most. We have a head coach who's sticking with a quarterback who took 6 sacks against the worst pass rush in football. The fans are furious, and they have every right to be. This isn't just about one loss. This isn't even just about this season. This is about a culture of losing that has infected every level of this organization. When your best player won't speak truth to power, when your media members flip-flop based on what the organization wants, when your coach keeps making the same mistakes week after week, you don't have a football team. You have a dysfunctional mess. Myles Garrett told Shedeur Sanders, "We're gonna need you." Well, Myles, that time is now, and your silence speaks volumes about what kind of leader you really are. Browns fans deserved better than this. They deserved a franchise player who would keep it real. They deserved honest media coverage. They deserved a coach who would make the hard decisions. Instead, they got political answers, deflections, and more of the same losing culture that's defined this franchise for 2 decades. This ain't working, and until someone stands up and demands real change, it never will. Tell your thoughts in comments, and do like, share, and subscribe.